Hey, hi everybody. How's it going? Russell Moore coming to you live, dedicated to financial literacy. Welcome to the channel once again. And as I said on the last episode, hey, I'm back. Was gone for several months because of some heart issues and stuff like that. But I'm good. I'm healed. In Jesus' name, everybody say, yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I'm actually going to do two episodes back to back. And the reason why is because I want to discuss one of my favorite stocks, Palantir. And I want to say this from the jump. I'm not a financial planner. Didn't work for Wall Street. Just a brother that over the years have invested, did a lot of research, did a lot of reading, did a lot of learning. And I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to be here and be on the channel. And I just want to let everybody know I care about you. I pray that everybody would prosper and be blessed. We're almost approaching the second half of 2024. Think about that for a minute. We're almost at June. That will be halfway through the year. All right. So I just want to discuss Palantir for a minute because the market, that particular stock went down 15% today. 15%, team. Yeah, at the close of the market, I looked at it was 15%. It was still going down after the market closed. And so I was like, whoa, calm down. So we got a lot of sellers. My second episode is going to talk about that. The first one, I'm just going to talk about yesterday, what happened yesterday with Palantir and the earnings call. For anyone, this channel was geared. I started it for my friends and folks at my church and just newbies, anybody that wanted to tune in. But it was really originally for my church and some friends that during the pandemic we couldn't hook up. So I said, you know what, I'll do a YouTube because people would call me and ask questions about stocks and the stock market and what it's about and all that. People wanting to invest, and they knew that I had been doing that for many years. So, excuse me. Like my big cup. All right. So anyway, let's see. So yeah, and because of that, I started a channel, and it made it possible for my friends and everybody. All I needed to do was send it to them, or they could just go online, go to my channel, and boom. And now I've been giving contents, and like 80 episodes later, here we go. So I'm going to keep it going. I'm going to keep it pumping. This one is particularly for financial literacy. Talk about budgeting, talk about stocks, talk about the market, talk about bonds, talk about it all. So, and please leave a comment if you have any questions or anything you want me to address. Just put it in the comments, and I'll address it if I can. Look, I'm not a know-it-all. All right, and I don't think there is anyone out there. Even Warren Buffett, one of the world's best investors, greatest investors, he even makes mistakes. That's what I wanted to really say too. I don't care how well a person knows the market and knows about investing, they still make mistakes. Peter Lynch, look at some of his YouTubes. Peter Lynch, some of the greatest investors have made mistakes. Okay. So I'm going to make mistakes sometimes. But one of the things I want to do as a disclosure, I do not encourage or encourage people into what to invest in. I'm not going to tell you what stocks to invest in. I will give you information. It's up to you. You do your own research. You do your own thing. And whatever you do, I don't care what a person tells you, what kind of sentiment is out there about a stock. Don't just go by what people tell you. Don't just go by the latest Uncle Boo Boo or Uncle Henry, whoever tells you, oh, I heard about this stock, you need to buy it. No, go do your own research. I lean more towards fundamental analyzing. I do technical analyzing as well because that's more geared towards day traders, swing traders, those that are trading in the market, traders. They're traders in the market. I'm more of an investor. It's buy and hold, long term. Okay, and so because of that, I'm looking at this from a standpoint of fundamental analyzing. What do I mean by fundamental analyzing? I'm looking at the fundamentals of the company. I'm looking at revenue. I'm looking at what's called the EPS, earnings per share. I'm looking at market cap. For example, Palantir, they lost billions of dollars in market cap today because the stock dropped. Okay. I'm looking at the CEO. Their CEO, by the name, his name is Alex Karp, and the leadership team. I'm looking at the CFO. I'm looking at what they're doing and what their mission is. I want to learn more about the company. That's fundamental analyzing. Okay, technicals deals with the strategic trends like candlesticks that you'll see. That you can look at, you can actually look at, and they look like graphs. That's the only way I can describe them. It looks like graphs. And what happens is, by looking at these graphs, you can anticipate what the market's going to do next based on past history, on where people have moved. People have, the direction that people have gone. So what you want to do when you're doing technical analyzing, you're looking at the charts, and based on the past and learning strategies, you can anticipate that the stock is going to go a certain direction, either up or down. Okay, that's in a nutshell. It's more to it than that, but that's in a nutshell. You're looking at the history based on the charts, and you're determining and anticipating that this stock is going to do a particular thing, either up or down, by looking at these charts. Okay, and there's certain patterns, there's certain trends that but I'm going to talk about Palantir right now. Okay, let's go into it. Let's just dive right into it. Are you guys okay with that? Okay, I need to make one quick adjustment. Does everybody hear me okay? Let me put a little bit more bass in my voice. Anyway, okay, let's get right into it. What I want to talk about is I want to talk about the earnings call. And I listed some things, some positive things about Palantir that I thought was very, 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 very powerful. And if you're thinking about investing in this stock or purchasing more, and see, here's the thing: it dropped today. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. Buy the dip, buy the dip. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Buy the dip, buy the dip. Buy. Anyway, let's take a look at what happened. What did they do for the quarter? Quarter meaning the last 3 months. They went over the first quarter at their earnings call. The first quarter revenue increased by 21%, you guys. That's year over year. So, in other words, the first quarter, January, February, March of 2024, they had an increase of 21% in comparison to January, February, March of 2023. So when you hear the term, you hear people say year over year. They're comparing this year from last year. Okay, whenever you hear that, year over year. So there's a 21% increase. So for the quarter, they made $634 million. As for last year, was $625 million. That's impressive. Think about that. This company in 3 months made $634 million. So they beat the consensus estimate. They beat the estimate by about 9-10 million. Okay. All right. Number two, their earnings per share, they were about, as far as the consensus estimate, what the street, what Wall Street, what they were expecting them to do was between 6 and 8 cents. So they met that. They met that by doing 8%, their EPS, earnings per share. Okay. And then number three, they delivered 6 straight quarters. That's a year and a half, you guys. 6 straight quarters of profitability, according to the GAAP principles. That's a particular accounting principles, the GAAP, GAAP. Look it up. If you don't learn, you don't earn. All right? That's the top standard. So according to GAAP, the GAAP principles, they have 6 straight quarters of profitability, Palantir. All right, number 4, commercial revenue. Commercial revenue grew by 27% year over year. So between last year, 2023, and 2024, of the first quarter, that year, They've had an increase in commercial revenue, and it was driven by over 40. It was driven by over 40% year-over-year increase in their commercial customers. So, in other words, it's like they've got a 40% increase on the quarter. I shouldn't say the quarter, over the year, as far as commercial customers and the revenue that they've acquired. The revenue was up 40%, team. Hope that made sense. All right, government revenue climbed 16%. So they have a bunch of, and that's where their company has been their bread and butter for like over a decade, right? And so they have a lot of government contracts, Army, Navy, you name it, right? So that increased by 16% year over year. Their customer count, number 7, customer count increased 42%. Their customer count. So they increased their customer count by 42%. Their customer count grew 11% just in this quarter. So since January, February, and March, in 3 months, they had an increase of 11%. That's powerful, you guys. Their U.S. commercial customer count grew 69% year over year. This is Palantir we're talking about. Wow. Palantir. What's that, number 9? Number 10. Palantir ended their quarter with cash equivalents. Oh, let me add this part too. To the U.S. Commercial customer count that grew 69%, they added 262 new customers year over year. So between 23 and 24, they've added 262 new customers. Fundamentals are strong, you guys. I don't care what people are saying. Number 10, Palantir ended the quarter with cash equivalents and treasuries, U.S. Treasury bonds of $3.9 billion. Cash. I'm going to add this one in here too. I read this as well. It's not on my list here. Number 12, no debt. The Palantir has no debt, team. No debt. Are you hearing me? They raised their guidance. In other words, their guidance, their future. They'll give a guidance. They'll give a projection of the future. In commercial revenue, the guidance is up 45%. So they're expecting their guidance to be about 45% overall as a company. More profitability, more like more revenue, 45%. They're expecting their cash flow to be at between $800 million by the end of the year, $800 million to $1 billion in cash flow. That's expected guidance. Man, their platform AIP is doing beautifully. They believe, this is what they believe. This is what Alex Karp and his team has said. They believe that AIP, Artificial Intelligence Platform, it's what it's called, it's going to be the most dominant infrastructure in the market. Right now, they're plummeting. Not plummeting. They're just advancing, and they're exposing it. And so many companies out there are going for it and saying, "Wow, this is a very powerful platform." They also have what's called a boot camp initiative that they have going, and basically the boot camp. It basically, instead of having all this money that they're spending on sales and marketing, what they're doing is going to companies and say, hey, you want to try our boot camp? And for 1 to 5 days, the boot camp, they teach and train on the platforms and expose these companies to their software. And that's their thing. They're saying, look, America, that's where we're strong at. when it comes to the AI space, this is where we're way ahead of all the other countries, and that is software. We've always been Silicon Valley. Remember, we've always been strong on software, and so this boot camp is doing so well. They've gotten multiple 7-figure deals as a result of this boot camp. So they show the boot camp. These companies are won over, and then they say, "Yes, we want it." So they've got. I don't have the numbers right here, but they have like, wow, okay, I do have something here. 136 deals as compared to 70 last year over year. So they have about 135, 36 deals as a result of the boot camp. Last year they only had 70. So they've already exceeded last year's number. So there's a 94% year-to-year increase between this year and last year. 94% for these boot camps. And they said the companies are they're losing it to get, they can't fill up these boot camps fast enough. They're like booked and booked and booked and booked. One example, one company, General Mills. Everybody's heard of General Mills, right? Cheerios. General Mills reported that they've saved $14 million a year from the platform. Now you might think of $14 million, they're a billions and billion-dollar company. Yeah, you know what though? They said the $14 million is for only one division. They haven't even implemented to other divisions. They did, I guess, that one division as a trial, and they found out that they've saved $14 million annually. You know what they're going to do? They're going to add it to their other parts of their business, to the other divisions, and they've got multiple. Here's another thing about that. Other companies are going to hear about that. They're going to see. They're going to be calling General Mills. So what's going on? You guys have saved $14 million. How can I save $14 million? How can Microsoft? How can I save? Even though they're in the AI space, they're not like Palantir. And that's what Palantir is trying to tell everybody, that, look, I know everybody's dabbling in AI, but that's their main focus. They're looking for that. This is going to be our moat. You got these other companies like Google, they're doing other things, right? AI is only a part of the business. This is their business, Palantir. So personally, I'm pumped. Now, I do believe that we're going to hit a correction. I've been saying that. I said that on the last video, that we will hit a correction. And Bloomberg just came out and said that we're in a recession, which nobody believed me, but I've said that as well. I really believe that we are in a recession. I don't care what Joe Biden tells you guys. Bidenomics has not worked. It has not worked. Ask your everyday person. We're always talking about, okay, inflation, 3%. Inflation's up 3% at around 3%. But has the prices at the store dropped? Has the prices on Amazon dropped? Has the prices at Target dropped? Kroger, Vons, Ralph's, Marshall's, whatever your department store is, the brick and mortar, I don't know. They're going down, boy. I'm telling you. I don't know if we're going to have brick and mortar in another 5-10 years. 10 years. There might be a few there, maybe the restaurants, but from a retail standpoint, look at all the layoffs that are going on. Come on, gang. You got layoffs in multiple companies, and you add that to high prices. People are ticked off right now in our country. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. I just want to stay on point. Palantir, those are powerful numbers for the earnings call. I'm about to do another one. Right after this, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to talk about why is it down today. Today is May 7th. Why is Palantir down today? You got it. Hey, stay tuned. All right. Have a great day. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. I never say that, because I don't know. I guess it's for my friends, in my church. But hit the subscribe button if you can, and the notify bell. and you'll get more content. And if you have any questions, you got anything, any comments, please put it in the comment section. I'll read everything. Trust me. All right. Have a great day, you guys. Be blessed. God loves you.